and today is Friday the 15th. I don't know, I swear days just evaporate before me and I never know what day it is. So again, last night I didn't get round to doing like a wrap-up video of my day and what I was doing. It was an amazing session, a vocal class with my adult singers. And then I ended up taking my sister, giving her a lift to a band practice. It's actually in my old band that I was in for 10 years. They're still going. They have like a kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Like a rehash of singers and musicians that kind of come along. They've been going for a long, long time. So it was really, really nice to catch them, see them rehearsing for a big gig this weekend that they've got. So I ended up going to do that and didn't get home until like midnight. And also, every time I see them, I like to do little videos for them because you don't get, unless you pay to get yourself some promo, or you set it up and you arrange for somebody to come along, then you kind of forget that you need to push yourself and promote yourself. And sometimes just having somebody at a band practice come and take some footage of you rehearsing and having a good time and showing your real personalities is great promo in itself. So I filmed like 4 videos for them, and then I made a montage out of those videos, and then I sent it to them all and emailed it this morning so they could use it, and sure enough, on their website now, or on their page, they've now put it up saying this is a real clip, enjoy, come and check us out tomorrow at Jolly Sailor. So it really helps, and often we forget that in this kind of line of work, when you're self-employed, or perhaps you are in charge of your career, then actually it can go forgotten to promote yourself, or some people don't know that they have to promote themselves. Some people are scared of promoting themselves, some people are worried about how they come across on social media, but things are so different now. Just like record labels, things where record labels would take control of things like your A&R and your promotion, and things like that. Now the power is in our hands, especially as a DIY artist. So these are things that you need to think about, but it's just the same for self-employed people in this creative industry. You know, you have to be everyone. You have to be your marketing expert. You have to be your PA. You have to be the person that creates all your promo. You know, when you get to a certain stage in your career, or in fact any stage in your career, if you have other people to help you with those things, that's amazing. And occasionally I get help, and I am the help when it comes to my vocal group and that kind of stuff. That's the jobs that I take on. I take on too many jobs, because where it was just me at the beginning, or me and my friend Charlie, for instance, with the vocal group, where it was just us two, we had to divide all those roles. And what's happened is we divided those roles into the things that we ended up being really good at. And so things like posters and promo and social media fell into my hands because I loved doing them, and I got a lot from it. But then as the vocal group grew and my responsibilities were more of a musical nature, people wanted to take the other responsibilities away from me to lighten my load, which I appreciate. And also I knew that I wouldn't have time to do everything, but it was those things that I really missed. And I don't know, I felt that other people couldn't do them as good. That sounds harsh. I mean, my stuff is not, my promotional material is not anything special in the slightest. It's not up there with, you know, kind of marketing great or anything like that at all. It's just that I'd got into a flow, and I'd got a style, and I was able to do it quickly, and I really, really enjoyed it. I really enjoy making posters and adverts and little videos and that kind of stuff. And then it was kind of taken away from, or not taken away from me, but not expected of me anymore, because my other responsibilities were far more important. And I missed it. So now whenever I get the opportunity to help somebody else out with their promotional material, even if it's just a video of them at rehearsal or some stuff that they can use, a picture or something, then I will always do it, and I never ask for anything. And some people have paid me to come and take photographs for them and do stuff, which is great, but from that I will never be a millionaire, because it only just about covers my travel sometimes. But it's something that I'm really, really passionate about, and sometimes I'm a bit torn as to where my passion lies now, if that makes sense. I love music, and music is my absolute life, but it's also my full-time job. And somebody once said to me, there are two things that any successful musician or creative person needs. I don't know what that was. And one is a good therapist. I should imagine that's very, very true. And a hobby. And I made my hobby photography, and I loved it, and I got really into it, and then it became a job, and I began getting paid to do photography, and then I didn't know what I wanted to be. I didn't know if I wanted to be a musician or a photographer. And bizarrely, there's a huge section of my friend circle, especially on social media, that only know me as a photographer, and the other half only know me as a musician, and some people don't even know that those two things have crossed over. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I think that the media and the marketing and the visual side of my career is my hobby still, and one that I'm not ready to let go of yet. In order to be less busy, shall we say. I think I like being busy with those things. I don't think I can deliver amazing results with them, but I definitely put my heart and soul into it. So just turning up and doing a little video last night was really good fun, and it's so nice when I open up my kind of Facebook and I see on their newsfeed that they've shared it and they want to use it as to promote themselves. So that's really, really good. But it did mean that I was up until 1 o'clock this morning editing little pieces of video footage together and sending it across. And I think this is why I struggle to fit everything in my life, because I don't think I'm easily distracted. I just think that my brain loves too many things. I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. I think that on the outside of things, people like my mum, for instance, they're always telling me, you know, make sure you don't take on too much, and you know, you're looking very tired, and you know, sometimes the one thing is, what can you give up? But what can you give up? You know, it's just, if somebody said to me tomorrow, you have to give something up that you do on a day-to-day basis, what could it be? Now, actually, I was in this situation last year, where I was forced to give up something, but it was my own decision. It wasn't that somebody had given me the ultimatum. And the thing that I let go of, actually, it still really haunts me, is I was in a covers band, I was in a wedding band, and I made really good money from the wedding band, and I was in a band with my sister and my best friend, and we had been in the same band since 2002. So we had more than a working relationship. We had a family unit, and then in that family unit came our other friends, you know, a drummer who's now one of our best friends, the bassist who is now my sister's partner, fiance, they've just had a baby. So we created a travelling unit, and what we did is we created this wedding band so that we could earn money and not have to do a regular job, and good money. And then it meant that we could all work together on our original music during the week and do things that meant that we had music as a living. We were with each other all the time, every single weekend. But what happened is it went from, this is a great thing, this is a great opportunity for us, we're all going to be together, it's great working with the best mates, to 10 years later or so, to it being a business, and being more or less told, well, you know, you can't take anything on at the weekends, you have to keep every single weekend free. And I think for a long time I was a bit resentful of that, and it wasn't because I didn't agree with it, because I knew exactly what we were signing up for and we'd made a great living out of it. But there was so much travelling, and you know, when you're travelling, when you're in an originals band and you're on tour, there's this real element of excitement because you're playing to new audiences. People are coming to see what you've created. But when you're in a touring wedding band, it is the same shit, different day, basically. And it's not shit. You know, it's not shit. It's great. It's somebody's big day. They've invested in you. They found you on a website. They love who you are. They're parting with good, big money. They want you to be a part of something really, really special. But when you've been to like 1,000 weddings and you're playing the same stuff over and over again, and actually that wasn't the worst bit. The travel was the worst bit. Now, I'm not saying I don't like traveling, but I lost so much time. I lost days of my life per weekend, just sitting in a van for 4 hours, 5 hours, going to a venue, setting up, waiting, being given some kind of cold food, maybe going on, doing first dance, playing the same set, having a break, not drinking. You know, we used to be in pub bands where we always have a bit of a drink and a bit of a social, but it's different when you're in a corporate agency wedding band. You need to stay level-headed. You cannot be one of those people that goes and, you know, gets drunk and thinks it's rock and roll. It isn't rock and roll, it's somebody's wedding. So it's really, really important to stay focused. So it would literally be water. You know, we'd have water or a soft drink. We'd go back on for the second set. We'd finish, we'd play some background music, we'd pack up. Now, when we first started this, we wouldn't touch any equipment at the end. We would wait until our time that we'd been hired was done, and then when all the guests started moving, we'd start packing down. Within the last 5 years, we managed to pack down within an inch of our life. By the time we'd finish, and the background music would still be playing, so that when it came to actually having to finish and turn everything off, all we'd need to do is unplug speakers and go. It wasn't that we didn't appreciate it, but it had become work. It was almost like going to a 9 to 5 that you just did, you know. And so when I had to make the decision to give something up, it killed me because I didn't know if I was doing the right thing, whether or not I was onto a really, really great deal here every weekend, just being with my mates and playing some music. But I was drained of it. And I think it's been the best decision I made because I'm still gigging. I'm gigging more now than I was then, but they're 20 minutes from my door. And I get the whole day at home to do stuff, like with my family, or go to somebody's party, or you know, the flexibility of if I've got lots and lots of residencies, but I can always let one go and put another singer in my place if I had something really important to go to. When you're in a wedding band, you know, you can't just do that to a bride and groom. You can't just say, oh, I know you liked that lineup on the website, but tonight you might not get that person, or you might not, you know, they might pull out. You know, you just can't do that. You have to stay committed. But when I let go of it and I gave myself some time, and I ended up taking on more work, but locally, it meant that I could maximise my weekends. And it was the best decision I made, but it was the hardest decision I've ever had to make, because what's happened is it's left this kind of elephant in the room when it comes to my sister and my best friend Andy, who kind of manages it and runs it. We also have another project that we work on in the week, and it's just not been the same. It's just, I know that my sister thinks I abandoned her, but she's got other things to worry about now and other things, you know, to fill up her time. She's just had a baby and we've got other things, but I feel like my relationship with them all has suffered, because I don't think they see it as I see it. I think they see it as I left to do one thing, but actually all I did was went and got loads more gigs on my own, and that's not why I did it. So I want to have it out, but at the same time, I don't know whether or not I'm just being paranoid. Regardless, you know, I'm just kind of waffling on now, but it's good to kind of analyse it a little bit. You know, what was important to me when we started making music to what's important to me now. And time. Time is one of the most important things, because as a portfolio careerist, sorry, I didn't even get that the right way around, you have this whole portfolio of things that you can do, but there is only so much time that you can do them in. And I think every now and then I go through a slight career change where I start to rebalance things. But the one thing that I'm not very good at managing is my time. I tend to fill it, and it's because I think I'm in a mindset of, oh, I should be working a lot. You know, this is what you do, and also I really love this, so I really want to do it. And then that's when we hit burnout. That's when it's about finding a balance. So yeah, I let go of travelling in vans for hours and playing another wedding in favour of playing lots more local gigs that fill up my time and don't pay me as well, but it means I can be home by midnight and I don't have to leave until 6 o'clock in the evening rather than travelling all day. So I feel like I made the right decision, but I feel like I'm still trying to find a balance with my time. Yeah, it's a tricky one, but something worth thinking about.